Many PlayStation fans would have been vocal to say that they weren't pleased with the first party output of PlayStation in 2024. And so far in 2025, it is not looking good when it comes to first party output of games for the PlayStation fans. Persons say they buy a PlayStation console to play PlayStation games. Well, PlayStation is not producing PlayStation games. I mean, last year, what did these ponies have to play when it comes to first party? They had Astrobot, a game that they pretended to love and was in awe with, and of course Lego Horizon. We are not going to, we could give them Helldivers 2, although that is not first party, but we'll give them it. 3 games. Those games was a bit too sweet for Sony fans, and we all know what happens when it is you indulge in the sweetness.
What do you get when you guzzle down sweet?
Type 2 adult onset diabetes.
So as these ponies control their blood sugar, let's tackle a topic that the PlayStation community and some in the gaming media is saying that is not happening. It's not true. That is the Xbox tax. A lot of persons would have had a lot to say about the Xbox tax, and one of my subscribers would have challenged me to attack this topic. So sit back and relax and let's tackle the topic. Is there really an Xbox tax, or is it part of the Xbox fan imagination? So hit that like and subscribe button for me. I did went in a little in depth in this video. I did do a lot of research, so show your support for your boy. Hit that like and subscribe button. So you know what? Let's get it.
This is a sickness.
Let's get it. So if you're new in the gaming streets, you might be asking, what is the Xbox tax? Well, let's ask our handy dandy AI. According to AI, Xbox tax is the idea that Xbox games are judged more harshly than other games. It's based on the belief that there's an anti-Xbox bias among some game journalists. Yes, so this is the definition of what is the Xbox tax. And in the past, both ponies and Xbox fans would have had a lot to say about the Xbox tax.
You know what, chat? The Xbox tax is real.
Expose.
It's real, chat.
Expose.
I know I've denied it.
Expose.
I've denied it every time.
Expose.
I've said, no, it's not real.
You're exposed.
But here it is. Live.
You are exposed.
In front of everyone.
Xbox tax, and I just kind of wanted to give my take on it. Personally, I find it very interesting, and I find it very, very funny and hilarious. And the reason why is because, there's no such thing as an Xbox tax, guys. Like, let's just get that out of the way first and foremost. But really, what it is people are trying to kind of frame the fact that Microsoft's games are not getting a lot of good reception, or they're kind of not getting the recognition that they deserve, or the short end of the stick, solely because of
not getting the credit you deserve this generation.
We never will.
Yeah.
We never will.
Yeah.
We've seen this. It's like we know that there's a different yardstick for the different developers. It's like we know that there's a different yardstick for the different developers.
Right.
The Nintendo guys are great. I've got my Switch right here in case I want to play Fortnite.
Yep.
So those guys are great. I talked to Reggie the other day. The guys over at PlayStation, they're executing. They've had tremendous success this time around. But it's funny with us. I think it's maybe because I don't know. So I think people I hate Windows because I have to use it at work, or I'm doing email, or I don't want to do this PowerPoint for work. So I don't know if some of that anxiety and whatnot drifts over to Xbox, but we just want to do the best we can for games.
One thing I want to say to the Xbox community: please stop worrying about whether somebody agree with you or not regarding this whole Xbox tax situation. The most important thing right now is the conversation, is the discussion. You have the gaming media attention right now, and they're willing to create a dialogue or some type of discussion to talk about this, to see where the Xbox community is coming from, their perspective and their angle on why they perceive it to be an Xbox tax.
So yes, there are individuals who believe that there is an Xbox tax, and there are individuals who are saying that there is no Xbox tax. But like anything else, we need to go what the evidence say. We need to have a clear conclusion based on what is found via evidence. So let's do exactly that. I believe all of this boils down to the bias that we have as humans. You see, we all have biases as humans. Some persons prefer Coca-Cola instead of Pepsi. Some persons prefer Naruto instead of One Piece, while others prefer Drake instead of Kendrick. So yes, we all have biases, and let us not for a moment think that this bias type of thinking did not creep into gaming journalists. I mean, if you think that there aren't biased gaming journalists in the gaming industry, you have to be crazy. Now, should it be like that? Of course not, because your biases could skew the review that you are doing. So if it is you might be biased to a particular platform, of course you should pass that game over to someone else to review. But of course that don't happen. I mean, take for example Avowed. Avowed recently came out, and one of the reasons that gaming journalists are giving why they gave that game a mediocre score is because of the bugs they would have experienced, because of the technical issues they would have experienced according to them. Well, these same developers, they did not keep the same energy with Spider-Man 2, because the gaming journalists were radio silent when that game released and it had a litany of bugs. These guys were quiet. It's not only me saying that. Look at your own pony brethren would have noticed that as well.
One thing that I think is honestly, it's telling of the gaming industry. It's telling of the reviewers out there. And that is, I've looked at countless reviews of this game, and not once, not a single damn time did I hear a reviewer tell me this game has bugs.
Yes, Lucas, not one developer said anything about the bugs that was in Spider-Man 2, but now you know why.
Not once. Everyone was saying this is the greatest Spider-Man game ever. Oh, it's perfect, it's flawless, it's amazing, yada, yada, yada. I didn't hear not one reviewer tell me this game has bugs. And I think that is disgusting. I think that's evil. I think that's wicked.
So yeah, where were all the gaming journalists, the one who pride themselves in being transparent and honest? Why didn't they say anything about Spider-Man 2 having bugs? But they are very quick to say about Avowed having bugs. It's very clear, guys. Xbox tax. But not only that, let's look at this.
Other than that, I think we have a project here that's going to earn loads of rewards for its daring design. Okay, so we've heard some good and some bad, but let's go to the ratings board and put a big number on it. I am giving Hellblade: Senua's Sacrifice a 9.5 out of 10.
This is definitely not worth the $50, and at this point, I don't even really know if it's worth installing on Game Pass. But we have heard some good and some bad. Let's go over to the ratings board and put a big number on it. I am giving Hellblade 2: Senua's Saga a 4 out of 10.
You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious? You don't find that suspicious?
Not only that, who could remember Sea of Thieves? When Sea of Thieves came out, it released at a 69 and a 67, both on Xbox and PC. But when it released on PlayStation 5, it released at 85 Metacritic. Now one might argue and say, well, the reason why it is at 69 and 67 is because it didn't have any content when it was released. Well, then reviewers need to review it back. because that clearly does not represent the game that is today. I would have seen that done before, so why not do it with Sea of Thieves? It's very clear again. Xbox tax. So you might be saying at this point, most likely for your pony, that Jay, it's all in your head. None of these things are true. You guys are just coping. Well, could you guys explain this? During 2023 and 2024, while IGN was posting a video, this video was based on the upcoming games for that particular year. Now, while showing these games that were coming out for the Xbox, they only showed the PlayStation 5 logo and the PC logo. Could a pony explain this to me? Isn't this clear evidence again of Xbox tax? At this point, you might still be saying, Jay, you are crazy. There is no Xbox tax. Okay, no problem. Well, maybe you could explain this. In 2019, Death Stranding, a PlayStation 4 exclusive, received 82 Metacritic. In 2019, Gears of War or Gears 5, Xbox exclusive, received an 84 Metacritic. Could you guess which one got nominated for Game of the Year? Yes, the 82 Death Stranding got nominated for Game of the Year before, Gears of War 5. Gears of War 5 did not get nominated. Could you explain that? I could explain it. Xbox tax. But wait, don't go anywhere. There is more. You see, I want to beat this Xbox tax until you are seeing it in your head, until you are seeing it in your brain. Look at this. Hi-Fi Rush, an Xbox exclusive at the time, got an 87 Metacritic when it was released exclusively on Xbox. But when later it was revealed that it was coming to PlayStation 5, the developers ran to give this game a higher score on the PlayStation 5. Could someone tell me how the exact game, identical, is getting a higher score on the PlayStation 5? One reviewer even went as far as to say that Hi-Fi Rush feels at home here, primarily thanks to the DualSense controller. So, Xbox game is feeling at home on the PlayStation 5? Could someone explain that one? Yes, Xbox tax. The crown jewel of the gaming industry, Call of Duty, for years have dominated reviews, constantly getting high scores, constantly selling out and so forth. Now the selling out aspect did not stop, but since Microsoft acquired Call of Duty, it just so happened that persons noticed that for some weird reason, although the multiplayer game is way better than the majority of Call of Duty games in the past, they still got the lowest review score. Notice what these onlookers said. PC Gamer Review says Modern Warfare 3 is not fun because Sledgehammer Games took a sledgehammer to the movement that Infinity War had a Modern Warfare 2. The reviewer called slide cancelling and faster mantling cheesy techniques. Look at this one. Modern Warfare 3 is the best Call of Duty multiplayer we have had in years, but somehow is also the worst reviewed Call of Duty game of all time. I don't understand it, especially when you compare scores to some of the other games like Vanguard. And then we had this one. Genuinely, I don't understand Call of Duty getting its worst reviews of all time with Modern Warfare 3, especially not the multiplayer. We have had some terrible Call of Duty games, but none have ever been scrutinized this heavily by majority gaming media outlets and reviewers. What changed? I can tell you what changed, dog. You know what changed? Microsoft now owns Call of Duty, and because of that, Xbox tax. But that's not the only thing we have been seeing when it comes to Xbox tax. We would have seen that, some gaming journalists, they are not even discreet with how they are showing a bias towards Sony. Look at this. This is Kat Bailey, a longtime worker there at IGN, who would have done numerous reviews over the years being there. And look at she's taking shots at Xbox, saying Sony will have a major tentpole release next year. They are not Xbox. So look at this. IGN employee, someone who has been on screen multiple times, someone who's supposed to show neutrality when it comes to, this whole supposedly console war. And here she is taking shots at Microsoft. Let's stay with IGN. Notice what IGN said here again. That brings us to Dan Stapleton of IGN. This is the guy responsible for delegating who reviews what game. He decided to review Starfield. Dan Stapleton has no bias. Dan Stapleton has no preferences. All Dan Stapleton has is neutral opinions about games. The same guy who was dressed as Kratos of God of War from head to toe. The same guy who said that he was vexed that Microsoft had early access for Starfield. The same guy who said that there will be hell to pay if Microsoft makes Elder Scrolls, Starfield, and Fallout exclusive to Xbox. He could never have a bias. The guy who gave Starfield a 7 does not have a bias when it comes to consoles. It is very clear, guys. This is our imagination. There is no such thing as Xbox tax.
And where, PlayStation is traditionally known as the place for the exclusives, and Xbox is known for having no games. Not my words, that's the internet's words. Xbox has no games.
Well, do you still believe that there is no Xbox tax? Well, if you believe that there is no Xbox tax, I mean, you have drunk a whole gallon of that PlayStation Kool-Aid. Wow. Yes, so let me hear what you thought about this video, how I would have itemized and showed proof, evidence of an Xbox tax. I mean, there's so much of evidence I did not put in this video. I don't want the video to go too long. But I mean, just a simple Google search will help you to see there's real hate out there in the gaming world for Xbox and Microsoft as a platform. But let me hear what you thought about everything that was said today. Don't forget, guys, to like and subscribe for more videos. I'll see you guys in the next one. Later.